Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sujivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakanitam Shra He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Jaitam Surat Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktan Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhuwana Mataji.
Mataji?
We'll start.
Mataji, Lakshmi Mataji is there. I think we can start.
Yeah, Mataji, we can start.
We can start now. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome back to our regular session of Bhagavad Gita. Today we are discussing from the very last chapter, the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and today's shlokas will be from 21 to 28. These shlokas we will cover for today. So, now we know the Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 sections. First one is the Karma Yoga section 1 to 6 chapters, mostly like that. And in between from 7th to 12th, 6 chapters will be mostly on the Bhakti Yoga. And the last 6 chapters are on the Jnana Yoga. On the 18th chapter specifically, what Krishna does is, now in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, it is the 2nd chapter, where it is the text, the title itself is a summary of the Bhagavad Gita, like that is the title. In this 18th chapter particularly, what does Krishna do is, where am I? Krishna, he kind of reviews all which has been discussed in the previous chapters, like all the aspects of the different kinds of yoga, then different kinds of karma, akarma, vikarma, those kind of karma aspects, then the different modes of material nature, which has been discussed in length in various chapters previously. It's Krishna kind of reviews them And he established at the end of the 18th chapter very elaborately and very strongly the perfection of bhakti yoga. The essential aspect of all the yogas is bhakti yoga. He establishes that towards the end of the 18th chapter with the shlokas like sarva dharman parityagya, that one, anmanmana bhav bhakta, like that. So that he towards the end of the 18th chapter. So in the beginnings of the first half, almost first half of the 18th chapter, he's kind of reviewing the topics which has been already dealt with in detail in the previous chapters. So that is how the 18th chapter moves. Now in the 18th chapter, beginning of 18th chapter, our Arjuna asks one question, which he has similar questions he had asked in the 3rd chapter, and our Lord, our Krishna has replied also. But now again, Arjuna puts across the question, what is the difference between renunciation and sannyasa and tyaga, like that. And Krishna establishes the fact that the consciousness of the renunciation is more important than the externals. Externals of the renunciation is also important. Nonetheless, the weightage is more on the consciousness of the person who is renouncing. So that he established in the beginning of this chapter. Then between the 13 to 17 shlokas, the 5 factors Krishna discusses in length. Now, specifically for our thing today, between 21 to 28, we need to little connect with the 18th shloka. In the 18th shloka, Krishna describes 6 terms, 3 motivational factors or 3 impetus for an action to be performed, and another 3 is 3 constituents. 3 impetus and 3 constituents. 3 impetus or 3 motivational factors are Gnanam, knowledge. Then we have the object of knowledge, name, and a Parignata, that is the Lord Himself. So knowledge, Gnanam, knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the Supreme Lord. So these 3 factors, the motivation, the impetus for a subject, these are the factors is these 3, and in constituents are by getting the inspiration from these 3, the worker performs his work, that is worker is the karta, performs his work, that is karma, using his senses, that is karanam. So these 3 plus 3 have been discussed in the 18th chapter. Has been discussed in the 18th chapter. 18th shloka of the 18th chapter, 1818. So what happens is in the 19th shloka, Krishna, so today we are discussing from 21. Na? Yeah. So in the 19th shloka, we know the impact of the 3 modes of material nature. So about the 3 modes of material nature, out of the 6 aspects, 3 plus 3, on Gnanam, karma and karta, that is knowledge, work, and the worker. The impact of the 3 modes of material nature, or what is it in the Gnanam in the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, what is karta in the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, and what is karma in terms of goodness, passion, ignorance. These are the things which Krishna is explaining. So in the 20th shloka, we heard how what is Gnanam in the mode of goodness. What is Gnanam in mode of goodness? Understanding every living entity, the presence of the same super soul, presence of the same soul, consciousness, spirit soul, the presence of the spirit soul in every living entity. That is same as like in 5th chapter we have Vidya Vinaya Sampanek Brahmane Kavi Hastin. That is a dog eater, a chandala. The same spirit soul is present in all the living entities across. This understanding, one who possesses, one who has, that person is said to be having knowledge in the mode of goodness. This is a knowledge in the mode of goodness. Now, today we will discuss about knowledge in the mode of passion and knowledge in the mode of ignorance. Similarly, work in the mode of passion, ignorance, and goodness, and worker. So 3 plus 3 plus 6 plus 2, 8 shlokas we will discuss. Okay, so I will share my screen now. And please raise your hands, devotees. All right. Nobody wants to read.
Mataji.
Bharati Mataji, yes. 1821.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Vritattvena tu yat jnanam nana bhavan vritatvitan veti sarveshu bhuteshu tat jnanam viditrachasam.
Okay.
Per-
Translation.
Purport shall I read, Mataji?
Translation.
Translation. That knowledge by which one sees that is every different body, there is a different type of living entity you should understand to be in the mode of passion. Purport. The concept that the material body is the living entity and that which the destruction of the body, the consequences is also destroyed, is called knowledge in the mode of passion. According to that knowledge, bodies differ from one another because of the development of different types of consciousness. Otherwise, there is no separate soul which manifests consciousness. The body is itself the soul, and there is no separate soul beyond the body. According to such knowledge, consciousness is temporary, or else there are no individual souls, but there is an all-pervading soul which is full of knowledge, and this body is a manifestation of temporary ignorance. Or beyond this body, there is no special individual or supreme soul. All such conceptions are considered products of the mode of passion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So now we are understanding the knowledge in the mode of passion. So knowledge in mode of goodness is what? Presence of the spirit soul across all living entities. He is in understanding that a mosquito also has that the soul, the spirit soul is in the mosquito is same as the spirit soul in any other elevated human beings. So the consciousness, that spirit factor, the Sachidananda factor of that little spirit soul is recognized across all living entities. That is mode of goodness. Mode of passion, what happens? We have a little mental concoction. There are different theories telling different things out of their own understanding. And so the judging the presence about the soul, super soul, and the living entities is knowledge in the mode of passion. That is understanding that there is something higher thing existing. That understanding is there, but what is that? What is that? There is no clarity, and there we have our own theories to explain. Some say the material body itself is the soul. So some are fair, dark, male, female, all different varieties, all different kinds of living entities, all different species are seen because of the development of body. Because the body is so, there is no concrete understanding. The body itself is soul. So when the body dies, soul dies, like that. And some say that the super soul is all pervading. That soul is only existing. Remaining is all certain like a temporary manifestation of ignorance, something like that. So there is no understanding, clear understanding is not there, but there is an understanding about something is there, is consciousness is there, then there is spirit soul is there, this is there, but how exists, who, what is what, that clarity is not there. So that is knowledge in passion. That is, I produce my own theory the way I want to produce. So that is knowledge in mode of passion. So we'll move on. Nobody is raising, so I will only read.
Mataji. I'll do Mataji.
Yes.
1822. 22 na Mataji.
Yeah.
Yattu Krishna vadeks ekasmin kare shaktam ahaitukam atat bharta vadalpam cha tat tamasam udahritam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness.
Purport.
Yes, ma'am. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The knowledge of the common man is always in the mode of darkness or ignorance, because every living entity in conditional life is born into the mode of ignorance. One who does not develop knowledge through the authorities or scriptural injunctions as knowledge that is limited to the body. He is not concerned about acting in terms of the directions of scriptures. From him, God is money, and knowledge means the satisfaction of bodily demands. Such knowledge has no connection with the absolute truth. It is more or less like the knowledge of the ordinary animals, the knowledge of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Such knowledge is described here as the product of the mode of darkness. In other words, knowledge concerning the spirit soul beyond this body is called knowledge in the mode of goodness. Knowledge producing may theories and doctrines by dint of mundane logic and mental speculation is the product of the mode of passion. And knowledge concerned only with keeping the body comfortable is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So, unless Prabhupada came in our life, we all were in ignorance only. Now it is also kind of ignorance only, just that we know that there is something called as goodness and passion. But otherwise, we were very much comfortable with the knowledge in ignorance. That is to say, what is knowledge in ignorance? That I have some money, I have some comfort, and I have good place to sleep, eat, mate, and whatever regular social activities I am able to perform very nicely. My children go to school and they come back, and oh Lord, please protect him or protect her, like that, get good marks. And then we live our life, and then they grow big, they have to get married, and we look little, do some time pass in searching for someone, and then after some time we do some more time pass, and then we want their children and grandchildren. Like this, life is over. Life is over for them, if as long as my family and all is nice, and I'm very comfortable to get. Now also we have so much of preaching going on, and we have so many neighbors, and when we say that do this also, they don't want to include anything in their regular life, because their regular life is very comfortable, and in simply including one new concept, and then we have to do something to. Now, if we say preaching, then we say no onion, no garlic. Then we say something else. Then we say come to temple. We say, then they say you do perform half day fasting. With something that we will tell no. When we are joined this movement, with something extra we have to do. No, apparently not so comfortable. So then that and all is no need. Why? What's the need? I'm happy in my life. Simply going. Nobody, the neighbors and all, they see that, they look at us as an observers, that they are doing something, going, coming, doing some crazy things. I am comfortable. Now ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. We are fine. We are fine. That is how we were. Because it was Lord's mercy that Prabhupada came in our life, and we looked into it. And now they may feel that we are doing something, but we are feeling, we know what we are doing. We are happy about it, and we look forward to it. It is a little inconvenience also, but if that inconvenience, we understand that by doing so Krishna is pleased. We have a higher principle for everything. We always feel that I should do better. See, I'm not able to control my senses. Actually, I'm supposed to do this, and now I'm supposed to be detached. So we have a higher principle which we are looking. Maybe we are falling short with our senses. That may be our situation, but we know there is something to look forward in life. We know this life is not all in all. We know that we want. So all this intelligence has been given by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada to us. One thought is there. At least how far we will reach, that only we know, Lord knows. But at least we want that thing, that's something we are looking for, some ideal. So that is a special mercy. Absolutely nobody wants it around. It is very, very, very rare. It is very rare. People are very comfortable with their own life. So that is what Prabhupada is saying. That is knowledge in the mode of ignorance. Sudha Mataji, next.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
One
Dandavat Pranam.
second. Dandavats. Okay, it's not going by. Yes.
Niyatam Sangarahitam Raga Dveshatakritam Afala Prepsuna Karma Yattat Satvikam Uchyate.
So we are talking about work in the mode of goodness now. Work in the mode of goodness. Yes, Mataji.
Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. That action which is regulated and which is performed without attachment, without love or hatred, and without desire for fruitive results is said to be in the mode of goodness. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Regulated occupational duties as prescribed in the scriptures in terms of the different orders and divisions of society, performed without attachment or proprietary rights, and therefore without any love or hatred, and performed in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of the Supreme, without self-satisfaction or self-gratification, are called actions in the mode of goodness. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. See, now we need these things, we need to do by this. We are still in the mode of goodness, and the goal of life is to transcend. So at least if we are consciously, constantly, most of the time in the mode of goodness by our actions, by our knowledge, by our work, then it is very easy to understand about transcendence when we get to hear, when we get to read, when we whatever, that time it can connect to us because we are practically on the mode of goodness. So it is easy to understand about transcendence and aim for it and try for it and go for it. Otherwise, if we are in the mode of passion and ignorance, then those things we feel too much disconnected with the ideals. We feel too much disconnected. Oh, that is there, I am there, but I cannot do that. But when we put ourselves in the mode of goodness, then we can connect and we can relate and we can try for it. So here, regulated occupation, we are supposed to do this. Let's do it. I like it, I don't. I am supposed to get up and chant in the Brahma Muhurta. I like it, I don't like it. I feel very sleepy, I feel very tired. I make my life's adjustment so that I try my best to do my chanting in the Brahma Muhurta. Mindful chanting, mindful serving the Supreme Lord, mindful doing service. Everything should be mindful, because that time we get the complete benefit. When we do any activity with the mind, proper consciousness, then there is a change in the heart. That is what is required. We are not just doing as an exercise, we are not just doing as a routine. We may be doing many of these things, but we should not do it as a routine. When we do it mindfully, then it brings a change, consciousness. In the consciousness level, we will be able to understand. There is a change of heart, purification takes place. That is what is goal of life. We are doing every circus so that purification of the heart happens. So what all people do, regulated, and then doing not because I did. I constructed this house and sheltered 3 children of mine. So this house is mine. They need to respect me. They need to understand me. They need to tell me that, Mama, this is what you have done. Because without you, I would have not lived. We have that deep attachments. We have that. We want some recognition. If somebody is talking, I made this house. I have 3, 4, 5 children. And when they are talking, oh, this house, see, we are so lucky to have this house and this house. In their discussion, if we are feeling that they are not even telling even once that my mother did it, then it hurts us. It hurts us because that ego is attached. We have that attachment. Those a person who is completely situated in goodness, he does not consider it only. That's not even a discussion or not even a thought. That thought does not enter only. For me, that thought is entering because we understand that how it is, because we are attached. Consciously we need to be detached. And when we hear very strongly from elevated souls, and we hear very scrutinizingly Srila Prabhupada's book, that material detachment has to come, and it will come, and then you feel more lighter. You feel better, because there are 100 situations to get bothered in this world. But if we situate ourselves in the mode of goodness, we'll not get bothered by any of them. Others are 100 things to be bothered, and head is fully occupied. Others, you feel more free, more relaxed, and then you feel that, okay, what is Lord telling more? Like that, you feel very light and comfortable at heart when you practice in the mode of goodness. Others, a very heavy head is heavy, head aches, because we want so much of recognition, and that we don't want big awards, but they should remember that I have done it. That we want it. We really want to hear them tell that, nah, yeah, she did it. Then we are, okay, at least they know that I have done. If nobody recognizes, we feel very hurt actually. So that should not come only, because if we are in the mode of goodness. Okay, next one. Namita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Yattu
Kame.
kamipsuna karma sahankarane va punaha kriyate bahulayasam tadrajasam uddharatam. Translation. But action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires and enacted from a sense of false ego is called action in the mode of passion. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
Rupa Goswami in his Nectar of Instruction says that uh, more than required parishram when we do, no? What is that verse? I think it is second or third. That is when we work more than required. Means I want to go to the US now. I have to get a job there. Doing this parishrama more than I can. It just consumes my entirety to get that, to get it happen. So that desire, I want it, I want it, and I really strive and work beyond my capability and consciousness, and full time I'm just seeking that. that is work in the mode of passion. No, do as much as possible and do the required. Don't be lazy, but more than with great effort, we don't have to. There is nothing so much. It's okay like that. It is so. I'm not discouraging anybody, but what is told in the scriptures is like that. It is not that if somebody really is passionate to do something, they can do, but that is only we call it as being passionate. We tell it now. You need to be passionate to gain. That is what it is. That is what exactly it is. Work in the mode of passion. In this world, unfortunately, to mark your presence, we need to be passionate. Like that it becomes. Because if you're more mild, people push us down. Like that and all theories, that is a different topic for debate altogether. But that is exactly what is called as work in the mode of passion. Vishnumurthy Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Number 18?
26.
26.
25, 18, 25.
Anubandham kshayam himsam anapekshita paurusham mohadarabhyate karma yattattamasamuchyate. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada. That action performed in illusion is disregard of this is in disregard of spiritual injunctions and without concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Purport. One has to give account of one's action to the state or to the agents of the Supreme Lord called the Yamadutas. Irresponsible work is destructive because it destroys the regulative principles of spiritual injunction. It is often based scriptural injunction. It is often based on violence and is distressing to other living entities. Such irresponsible work is carried out in the light of one's personal experience. This is called illusion, and all such illusory work is a product of the mode of ignorance.
Very beautiful and very nice. It is very easy to understand, but still, 1 minute we will discuss more on that. Every human being, we all are responsible. We are accountable for all our actions. We may not be externally accountable for what we are thinking. In Kali Yuga, for thoughts, whatever is in the mind, if I kill somebody in the mind, I will not get the the repercussions. But the problem what happens is in the mind, if I'm constantly thinking of killing somebody, one day I will just do it. So that is the problem. So we should not allow a negative thought to enter in the mind only. It should not be noticed only by us. Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa Sangasteshu Pajari. That is in the second chapter, it is told that when we look, we contemplate on the senses, then we develop attachment, then anger, like that. The chain goes on, the chain of fall down goes on. So when a situation is there, the negative part are like terrorists. Terrorists, what they do, they just kill. Now everybody is accountable. We have to get the reactions. We will get the reactions. So we may be thinking that I'm not physically killing, but mentally, if we constantly contemplate on the our negative actions, it is just the question of time that we will actually physically get indulged in that action. So because consciously, constantly we are meditating on a negative thought. When the mind is occupied with negative impressions, one after the other, the mind has limited fixed amount of space. In that space, if we are not able to feel the scriptures, if we are not able to feel the consciousness about Lord Shri Krishna, or we are not able to fill it with positive impressions, then the entire mind is occupied by negative impressions, and it is just the question of time we end up doing something wrong. So with this in mind, we should not contemplate only. So otherwise, what specifically here is told is that exactly what the killers, the serial killers, they call something, just doing it with the disregard of the accountability they hold. They are not understanding that there is someone to take care of all their actions, and they will undergo. That is the reason when it comes to meat eating, it is told a mamsa. Mamsaha means what I am today, tomorrow you will be there. You will do the same thing. So when we see the gross way of handling cows and cow slaughters in the, sometimes some videos are displayed here, there in the Western world, how grossly, how it is so painful to see how the animals, that huge cows are handled, and they are pushed and pulled, and how they are been artificially milked, and so much of torture is given. And after that, when they ever want to kill them also, they don't kill them straight, they make them go through so much of pain. Now what kind of hell would be waiting for such persons? Or maybe they were doing it in their previous life, and this life they have come back as those cows to go through it. Maybe it is, we don't know the laws of karma exactly what is happening, but we do know that every action is accountable. So in the fifth canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, very elaborately all the different hellish planets are given, and it is told that the Yamadutas are waiting, and in hot oil they'll put our body, and we will not die. The point is, we will not die. If they, when they put us into that hot oil, if we die, then we don't understand. No, we will understand the pain will be coming, but we will not die. So much of it will be pierced through our body, all the pointed things and all, and it is all gross what we have seen. We would have not done so much, but that will come back to us. All these things, it's not to make us fearful, but to make us understand that we are accountable for all our actions, and the negative thing should not reach the mind only. Then there is a question of bringing into action. So at the mind level only, we should cut it off to make ourselves feel free and happy. So if we aim at mode of goodness, that's the best for us.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mother, one small doubt, Mataji.
Yes.
After our death, soul only travels. Is it not? Then the Yamaduta's punishment will be given to whom? Either to the soul. There is no material body there.
Yeah, this body will not go. There we will get one body, I think. I'm not sure exactly what will happen. But in the, at least what the fifth canto describes is some bodies are shown. That means that soul will be given one hellish body.
Okay. Okay, Mataji. Maybe like that.
Exactly what happened, I don't know. But point is, the pain will be my pain. My soul only will. I will only feel that pain because it's my soul, no? Like that.
Yes, yes, yes.
I may have a look, external look may be a little different. Somebody's asking also.
Mataji, they'll get a subtle body.
Huh?
They'll get a subtle body, Mataji. They'll get a subtle body.
I don't know that. I don't know that. But pain is felt.
Okay.
Pain is felt.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I've heard in one of the lectures, Mataji, that we get one subtle body which suffers, goes through the suffering. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what even I also
heard it,
heard.
Mataji, and it seems like the skin for that subtle body is so delicate that what we feel the pain in this body is 100 times more in that subtle body.
Possible. That should be enough for us to refrain from thoughts also, because thoughts will lead to actions, and thoughts will give, if we have just thoughts and we don't do it action, suppose like that also, simply that mind is occupied by negative things. Put it all in the mode of goodness, then we can easily get into transcendence. All these things is not to make us fearful, but to give us the real understanding that it is not, it is a complete cycle. It is not that we think that, oh, I can do anything and just I will die and I'll commit suicide and then with me everything goes up. No, it comes back. It very much comes back. So we'll go ahead.
But Mataji, on the other hand, I've heard people say that, God is not so cruel to punish his own children. He whatever we hear in Garud Puran and these things are not true, they say.
No, they can say anything they want. No, that's all right. No. I can say America does not exist only. Because I did not go, America does not exist. I can proudly say. But then you will feel that she's a fool. Like simple. It's like that. No, if they have, because of lack of knowledge, they don't, and when there is knowledge is given, they're not ready to accept and go through it. That faith is not there. We can only pray for them, give them prasad, and just keep quiet. They can tell whatever they want. Okay. We'll move ahead.
Yes, Mataji.
Ramakrishna, Prabhuji. 26.
Hare Krishna.
1826.
Mukta Sango Anambadi.
Mukta Sango Nahamvadi.
Mukta Sango Hanambadi.
No, it is.
Yeah. Mukta Sango Nahambadi. Dhrutyustaha Samanvitaha. Siddhya Siddho Hi. Nirvikaraha. Karta Satvika Uchyate.
This is the work we do, worker in the mode of goodness. Yes.
Yeah, translation. One who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering in success or failure, is said to be a worker in the mode of goodness. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A person in Krishna consciousness is always transcendental and transcendental to the material modes of nature. He has no expectations for the results of the work entrusted to him because he is above false ego and pride. Still, he is always enthusiastic till the completion of such work. He does not worry about the distress undertaken. He is always enthusiastic. He does not care for success or failure. He is equal in both distress and happiness. Such a worker is situated in the mode of goodness.
So almost all this we have discussed. See now, he does not care for success or failure. Means I have been told today, I'll just do something. If it is not good, what can be done? Not like that. He does his best. That is, somebody was asking how to keep children motivated. How to keep, because young children like 10th standard, 12th standard, they right. So how to keep them motivated? Now, because we say that we have been given to understand, don't be too much passionate, and the children should study also. Like that, too many factors are involved. So then we should study, or we should do a service, or we should do the work, or we should do our occupational duty to the best of our capacity, as though I want to be the topper in that. Like that, the mood should be not in the passionate way, but to excel. Let me do my best. If I have been given the task of cleaning, let me do my best. If I am being given that I am 10th standard student, you have to study and write, so let me do my best. The mood for the servant or for the worker should be that I want to do the best. But once he performs the task, he is not worried about the success or failure. It should not bother him. But now a 10th standard student, if he does not get whatever required marks, then he should do something about it. That action should be done, but he should not get bothered. In between, what happens is, one is something has happened. Another thing is we need to take care of it. In between, the botheration is then, oh, why it happened, how it happened, now what to do, what to do, and it just pain, and botheration, what people will say, what he will say, what she will say, what society will say, what my father will say, mother will say. All that thing he will not feel. He understands that I have done my best, and now this is what the result is. Now based on the result, let me think what next to do about it. With that is clarity of mind they will have. They're not get that in which they're getting bothered, getting anxious, agitated, disturbed. All these words do not come for them. That does not come. They are equal in both distress and happiness. Now, Arjuna lost his son Abhimanyu, and he cried. Definitely he cried. Na? All the Pandavas also cried. So it is that when we lose a person who is very dear to us, it is very natural, it is very human to feel the loss of our dear ones, the loss of our near and dear ones. But that happens, naturally it happens. But then we come out of it and we have an higher understanding. And we go. It is not that throughout my life I'll be thinking, if at all they would be alive today, I would be like this. If at all that would have not happened, this should have not happened.
Lunchtime.
Please put yourself in mute, no? So, so that should not be the case. Everybody goes through ups and downs in this material world. That is very natural because the material world is there for our heavy purification. But and everybody gets bothered, but keep it minimal and get over it, and put yourself in the positives so that the negatives naturally and automatically diminish in your life. This, when we do it very sincerely, when we are very prayerful, then Lord helps us, and helps us to be most of the time in the mode of goodness. He helps us, but when that help comes, we should accept that help. It is like a situation is there, they did not include me only, then I understand, but understanding is we should not get bothered. Okay, let me not, Lord, please help me, I'm getting bothered, please help me. That Lord will help also. It is like, oh, I did not know, little, no, but once I'll go and tell her and come, see, you should have told me, you didn't. I'll just tell quickly and tell. No, then we are all putting ourselves into the lower modes. So when we want to step out, Lord will give that understanding that yes, you can step out, then we should make use of it and step out actually. So that is called as growing spiritual.
Mataji, this could be anxiety after the children do the exams, waiting for the results. That anxiety also includes in this?
Yes, that includes that. We don't have to be anxious. We have done our best, or done best, or whatever, it's over. Now do, because that time when we are anxious, no, we can't do what is present in our hand. Now nothing, we can't do anywhere because it's so much bothering. No, don't get bothered. That is exactly what it is.
Okay, Mataji.
27th. Prashanti Mataji. Just now who read? Not Prashanti Mataji, no?
No, Mataji, I didn't read it.
Prashanti.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Ragi karma falak prepsur lubdho hinsatmako suchihi harsha sokanvita karta rajasa parikirtitaha. Translation by Prabhupada ki jai. The worker who is attached to work and the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow, is said to be in the mode of passion. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. A person is too much attached to a certain kind of work or to the result because he has too much attachment for materialism or hurt and home, wife and children. Such a person has no desire for higher elevation in life. He is simply concerned with making this world as materially comfortable as possible. He is generally very greedy and he thinks that anything attained by him is permanent and never to be lost. Such a person is envious of others and prepared to do anything wrong for sense gratification. Therefore, such a person is unclean and he does not care whether his earning is pure or impure. He is very happy if his work is successful and very much distressed when his work is not successful. Such is the worker in the mode of passion. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat
Prabhupada
Pranam.
has written everything. There is nothing to explain, but one thing which you can highlight here is envious persons are prepared to do anything wrong for sense gratification. That is very dangerous. That is very dangerous. That will put you down into more lower modes when we do anything for sense gratification. One is we desire for sense gratification, we desire for name fame. That is one level. That will still keep you in the mode of passion. That is not good, but still that is one level. But you, because of envy, you are ready to glide down. Then that is very serious. That is very wrong. Sense gratification. Therefore, a person such as is unclean in his thoughts, unclean in his habits. Because when you are ready to get down to any level, then you are not clean, you are unclean. And it does not care whether his earning is pure or impure. These are all very scary things. It gives heavy karmas. And in this life and in next life, we are both unhappy. It is not even just about this life, next life. It heavy karma this brings. So this we should be very, very careful. Okay, move ahead. This is the last shloka for today. Arun Gupta Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hmm.
Ayukta prakrita stabda satho neshkrito alasaha vishadi
Shato Naishkrito Lasaha. Alasa it is. Lasaha. Yes.
Sato neshkrito lasaha vishadi dirgha sutricha karta tamasa uchyate. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance. Purport. In the scriptural injunctions, we find what sort of work should be performed and what sort of work should not be performed. Those who do not care for those injunctions engage in work not to be done, and such persons are generally materialistic. They work according to the modes of the nature, not according to the injunctions of the scripture. Such workers are not very gentle, and generally they are always cunning and expert in insulting others. They are very lazy, even though they have some duty, they do not do it properly and they put it aside to be done later on. Therefore, they appear to be morose. They procrastinate anything which can be done in an hour. They drag on for years. Such workers are situated in the mode of ignorance. Hare
No,
Krishna.
but interestingly, no, see, all these things, we may not be doing all of it all the time. We may not, but we definitely, we need to assess something we are doing. Procrastinating, we have that habit of tomorrow, not today. Things are there. So point is, our problem is we want to aim at mode of goodness, but we are not able to put ourselves in the higher modes all the time. That is our, at least that is should be our level. That is the higher levels we are understanding, but we are not able to push ourselves and maintain in that level or in that mode all the time. We are very much ups and downs. The moods are there. We are carried over by the moods in by for different days, for different dates, or for different seasons, or for different situations. Our mood, there is a mood swing that happens. Sometimes we really want to just lie down, not do anything. We may be devotees. For all the devotees, about devotees only we are talking. So we should at least have the knowledge that this is, I'm putting myself in the mode of ignorance. If I want, just get up and hold a book, and then Lord will help, and we can continue with that. That few things we may not be doing it all the time. If we would be doing all the time today, we would not be sitting in this forum. That is very clear. But nonetheless, this is, and what happens, these people, this we have seen, this is the most of the people nowadays, mostly youngsters, unfortunately, always morose. They themselves are not happy. After doing all this, they just drink, they go to the pub, one full night they spend. Then in the morning they're so dullards, and they are at home, and they get up at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Then see, they have slept for like 10, 12 hours. Now they are not happy about it. We who have slept for 6 hours, now we feel like fresh, and they look at us and we are looking at them. They have slept for 12 hours, we have slept for 6 hours, we are more fresh than them, and they are like that still, and they are like, I just wasted my time, bro, like that they are. And they don't know next what to do, and I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like I don't feel like getting out, I don't feel like dressing up, don't feel like taking bath, don't feel like doing anything. Then something one comes, then they'll say, like, oh, some parties, okay, Jaipur, let me just dress up and go there, and again get indulged in something and come back and do the same thing. Right? Many are doing, because what happens, the basic necessities are anyways taken care. Food, shelter is given. So food, shelter they take and waste the human form of life. So we'll not get so much bothered about them. We'll bothered about ourselves. We'll understand that how much mood skip swings do we have. How many times I get down into mode of ignorance. How many times I'm passionate. How many times I'm mode of goodness. How many times I'm feeling the bliss of scriptures, feeling the bliss of Krishna consciousness. Let me consciously put myself. What are those activities will give me happiness in Krishna consciousness? Let me do. Like that, we have to consciously try, because we have been conditionings from many lifetimes. And because of those heavy conditionings, it is not easy like, okay, today I have decided to be Krishna conscious. Perfect. That doesn't happen. Ups and downs are there, because we have a psychophysical nature. We have so many things we have, we have a family, we have people around us. But consciously, if we are devoted to the Lord, if we are prayerful in our attitude, and we are trying to be hard, every moment we're trying hard, Lord will help. Lord will help. And it's just a question of time that we will reach the perfection, because Lord will help. It's only by the mercy of the Lord and the Parampara and the devotees and Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev that somewhere we will be able to take baby steps and reach the perfection. It is possible. Process is possible, but we need to be little conscious of every action that we perform. We cannot perform any action unconsciously, with the understanding that we are accountable also, and every action of mine determines my next action, determines my mind, determines what data I put into my mind, determines that because of that data, what is the impact. Everything is connected. So if we are conscious about every action, now initially it may be like anything, what to do, but naturally and automatically they become the part of our life. All right, thank you very much. Grantra Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Dandavat
Mataji.
pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
pranam. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Krishna Mataji,
Thank
Dandavat
you,
pranam.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Thank you,
pranam.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Mataji, Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.